That's the best part about no video is that you can just record naked and no one knows. It's fine.
This is the College Gamers Podcast.
This is the College Gamers Podcast. Pencils down, everyone, because the show is beginning. My name is Mike. I'm joined every week by Adam and Taft, but who cares about those knuckleheads? Because today we have a
we love you too.
A very special guest, Sean from.
I'm very special now. That's cool. Special in what way though? That's my question.
About it. Don't worry about it.
As in, you're the coolest person on the show right now. We'll leave it at that.
Wow! For the first time ever, I'm the cool person in the room. What is this bizarro world?
Well, technically, we're all the coolest person in the room.
Well, yeah, because we're all
in individual rooms.
Okay. Well, you're the coolest person in the chat
room.
Shut
up with your logic.
Well, Sean, you are from the Part-Time Gamers. Is that correct?
Indeed, Part-Time Gamers.
Cool. So that means we all play video games. So that means we should just do a video game podcast right now.
What?
The Part-Time College Gamers podcast?
The Part-Time College
I don't
Gamers.
know if that is technically the never mind.
That could work because you can't be part-time to college, but
that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah. So how's everyone's week been?
Commend your logic.
Yeah. How's everyone's week's been? Let's start with Taft. Taft, how you been?
My week's been pretty good. Just busy.
Busy. Finals are coming up.
I'm trying to catch up on some of like the stuff I'm behind on. So
yeah,
it's been busy.
Adam,
but it was good. I had a really good Thanksgiving.
Good. Adam, I assume finals are also catching up to you.
I still have to memorize a piece in German and Italian to sing for it's based on.
All right. Well, I expect you next week to sing that on the show as well.
I can try. But,
in both Italian and German at the same time. You have to
I can do a really bad Russian accent. That's about it.
Yeah. Sean, how's your week been?
Do it now.
Oh crap!
All right,
I can't do it now. I need to practice it and everything. This is for D&D, man.
All right. This is gonna be a bit of an old news, but before we get into the news for this week, Sean, I have you been up to date on the EA fiasco?
Vaguely about the loot boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a philosophical question already. Well, pretty much like what you said in the show notes here. It's a lot about what really do you define gambling, and
that's actually what my article's about.
Yeah, sorry, I actually read the show notes because I was trying to somewhat prepare. Unlike for my own show, where most of the time the show notes are written like a half hour before we start. But it's really about the like, what do you consider gambling? And I'm more on the fence that it's not. And if you want, we can talk about it later, but that's just kind of like a preview of my thoughts. Yeah,
well, we can get back into that when we talk about Adam's news there. But let's just save it and let's just jump into the news.
And now for the news.
All right, I didn't do any arranging before the show, so who's going first? Taft, you get to go first.
Yes. So, I guess I've slightly mentioned this before we started playing, so I don't think you all heard it. But there's a new Animal Crossing game out that came out a couple days ago for the mobile.
Yes, I've heard good things.
So it's called Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. It came out the first, which was one day earlier than the stated release, which is nice. And sorry, the game's basically overall feel like everything from design to sound and the way just it looks and everything is just like a regular Animal Crossing game, which is really, really cool.
Awesome.
I wasn't when I was younger, I wasn't the biggest Animal Crossing fan, but I appreciate it more now that I'm older. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense because like when you're a kid, you don't care about paying off your house to the loan
Exactly.
shark.
And you don't feel like you're in crippling debt when you're actually in crippling debt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Just talking about the like crippling debt and everything is starting to give me PTSD.
yeah. So you can actually customize your character and camper, or your living area, which is your camper. You can also customize what is known as your campground, which is like the outside of your camper, like where you're actually camped at, and you invite other animals to come hang out there, and like have to design it certain ways to get certain animals to come, which is kind of fun and interesting. And you have to collect the materials to build the stuff, just like Animal Crossing. And then of course, like we said, it wouldn't be an Animal Crossing game without being able to go into horrible crippling debt.
Of course. Tom Nook, that loan shark.
Instead of Tom Nook, though, you don't have Tom Nook. You have OK Motors.
Oh no.
Who they basically upgrade and expand your RV. They expand your interior and can like change the look of your RV.
So is it a mortgage or a vehicle loan?
It's a loan.
I think it would be much more entertaining if he was an actual shark, though.
No.
It's a bunch of penguins.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not nearly as
I don't know.
exciting.
Penguins.
I know.
Penguins can be a
They're
bad feeling
adorable, but
sometimes.
I don't know. They're not
And
really
then,
intimidating.
Flashbacks of Club Penguin.
Rest in
Rip.
peace.
But so yeah, that's how you go into crippling debt in this one. But the best part of all this is you don't have to go into crippling debt to get this game because it's free.
It's no way.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is
game-
free.
A game that's enjoyable and free to play in this day and age? No.
I'm playing it right now. I want y'all to know that. Like,
I also just installed it.
Okay, just a second. Let me get on my phone.
All right, yeah. We all gotta do this together now.
Yeah, Josie was telling me about how her sister was all excited about it, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I picked it up, and I was like, this is all right. And then I started playing it, and I was like, I can't put it down.
No, it's fun. So wait, what is there to do? Is it just because like I remember my Animal Crossing experience was just fishing to pay off stuff and
Basically,
cleaning up
yes.
weeds.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different areas, including your own campground. And each one of those areas has something specific about it. Like there's an area where you gather fruit. There's an area where you fish for saltwater fish. An area where you fish for freshwater fish.
Okay.
An area where you catch bugs and butterflies. Your campground. An area I haven't been to just because like you have to pay to get into it.
Oh.
I
So
think it's an area where you collect, like it's just an area where you can collect just a ton of materials.
can I visit other people's campgrounds?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I was about to say like I feel like that's an obvious feature they should have.
Yep. You have OK Motors, and you also have the shop, like this marketplace where you can go and buy clothes and stuff like that.
Awesome. I don't know. Are you liking it so far?
Oh yeah, I'm really liking it. It's a lot of fun.
Rate it for us.
On a scale of 1 to 10, for a mobile game, I'll give it a solid 9.
All right.
Where like a 10 is that Kingdom Hearts game that I still play all the time. And nothing will ever top that as a mobile game. And then I'd give this one solidly a 9. 8.5, 9.
All right, cool. Well, let's move on to Bungie because they're in some trouble this week. Bungie admits to a hidden scaling system that changes Destiny 2 XP gains. So this was interesting because a Redditor, as always, it's always a Redditor that discovers something, right? They are the greatest minds of the internet. They did some number crunching. They took XP gains from Destiny 2 and they plotted them and did a bunch of mathematical fun stuff to find that the game actually reduces XP earned compared to what the in game to what it says you earned. And they found that. So here's what happens when you hit max level in Destiny at level 20. You can continue to gain XP, but instead of going up in levels, you unlock bright engrams. I don't know if that's different from Destiny 1.
That was how it was in Destiny 1.
Okay, and these bright engrams are they give you things that you can't find anywhere else in the game, and they're all cosmetic, and they can be bought with real money, or you can grind for them in game. And someone found that Destiny actually reduces how much XP you get depending how fast you're getting it, and it can reduce the amount of XP you get by you can get as much as 4% of what the game's actually telling you.
That is so dirty. What?
Really?
Yeah. So their story was that this mechanic was so that it would adjust how much XP you're getting depending on what events you're doing. So if you're doing patrols, which are really quick and easy, the game will reduce how much XP you get so that if you do the Crucible, which is PvP, and the matches take a while, you're not PvP would give you more experience because you're completing events slower compared to patrols, which can be done really quickly. That was their story.
That's so dirty.
And they just turned it off, which I think was a good idea because I think the gaming community is really on edge right now because of EA.
Yeah.
And I think
EA in general just does not have the best track record.
No.
Yeah.
that's true. And right now the gaming community is just looking for a fight. We're ready to go. And I think Bungie was like, turn this off. We don't want to be the next EA. We don't want our stock burned down.
I do appreciate, though, that their stuff is just cosmetic and it's not like pay to win.
That's true. But at the same, what were you gonna say?
I was wondering, is the problem the fact that the XP is reduced, or it's the fact that it's not accurately shown, that you're shown a different amount?
I think
you're actually getting?
I think the issue is that the game is telling you more XP than you're actually getting.
Okay, that I can understand, but if they just came out and said, "Hey, we were, once you hit end game, levels are going to be gained slower, you're going to be gaining less XP," or it's based on the time, like what it shows here.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that, but by just basically blatantly lying about the amount you're actually getting, yeah, I think that's a problem.
that is a problem. And the issue was, and something that happens is there are these things called public events, which you can just go around the open world. They're kind of like bonus objectives in World of Warcraft. And once you would complete one, the XP gained from that would be cut by 50%, just off the bat. So you can't just grind them. And what happens is, I think maybe they were concerned that people were going to get bright engrams too often. I wonder if maybe a better way of doing this would just to come out, come out and say, hey, we're going, because we want money, or that's a bad way to put it. There really is no good way to put it. Because we want money, we're going to slow down how much you're going to earn from these. And I think I don't think there was a good way to go about it. I think Bungie did the right thing and turned it off. But yeah, I can understand where they're coming from. They want to support this game long term, so they want to incentivize players to spend money on it. But let's be honest, who's buying engrams?
I mean, I get it. They won't actually buy that because at the end of the day, they are a company and they need to make money.
Yeah.
But you can't just say, "Hey, we're trying to make more money," especially to gamers after the EA incident.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they were honest about it, though.
They turned it off.
EA was just like, no, it's not that we want more money. We want you guys to feel more empowered.
Oh yeah.
We want you to we want you to want to give us more money.
They weren't like, our background algorithms make players feel more accomplished when they grind experience. So Bungie dodged a bullet. I think they're probably like, yes, we're turning it off, but EA, and that's probably how they did it. All right.
What I would have liked to see, though, is how would they have gone about that if this EA thing didn't happen?
It'd probably be a bigger deal, to be honest. People would probably be a bit more pissed. But yeah. All right. Speaking of EA, do we want to talk about loot boxes?
Do we have much of a choice at this point?
Yeah, because Adam wants to talk about loot boxes. So let's talk about loot boxes.
Okay.
I mean, we do have a choice. It's 3-on-1 here.
3-on-1. All right. Well, then let's talk about loot boxes.
All right.
Executive decision.
Wait, do you guys have an executive here?
Sure,
No.
let's go with that.
All right, take it away, Adam.
All right, so the title of the article is Exploring the Secret Psychology of Gambling with Battlefront 2's Loot. So you can probably tell where this is going already.
All right.
Alright, so, as we all know, especially if you've been listening to the show, loot boxes, not just in one particular game, of which we should all know the name of, but in any game. I'm gonna have too much fun with this. All loot boxes have been under controversy as to whether or not they should be considered gambling, as Sean said earlier. Even so much as situations like this. The Belgium Gaming Commission is currently in the middle of an investigation into these systems, such as the loot box system in Battlefront 2 and in Overwatch. Also, Hawaii State Representative Chris Lee has announced that he's working on a prohibition of manipulative mechanisms in games, and I don't know how far that goes, but that can go pretty far.
Yeah. No, because manipulative mechanics in game. Remember a while ago how we talked about Activision? They what do you call it? They got a what do you call it? A patent? That's it. They got a patent on a matchmaking algorithm that put newer players with more experienced players who had paid money
I remember that.
on the game to get cool cosmetic items to try to influence newer players into spending money. So
Yeah, I remember that.
they might be investigating those kind of things. But anyway,
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
don't mind me.
I mean, we value your opinion as our humble host here.
Our humble host.
No, we don't. Don't let him lie to you like that, Mike.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, stuff like that's going on, and as to whether or not they're gambling, there has been evidence presented for both sides of the argument, and this is still like debated with extreme heat and saltiness, much more so, especially now because of the EA event. So much so that people are just looking into the psychology of gambling itself and how it affects both people's brains and whether or not loot boxes fit this category.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's starting to get real.
Are you telling me that we're about to have a prohibition on gambling because of video games?
I don't know because like I said, people have brought forth like good arguments for both sides because it can be sort of considered gambling because I mean you pay real money and you're not guaranteed to get stuff, but then you get into stuff like you are guaranteed to get something from a loot box. Unlike say like a game of blackjack, you're not guaranteed to get your money back, and like companies are required to show the percentages of what you can get. So like if you want the rare item, they have to show you what percentage it takes to get that rare item or skin from a loot box.
Yeah, because like in China, legally, they have to tell you. In the United States, it's not the same case. And, we talked earlier, Adam, like you said, in the United States, gambling, the definition of gambling is a chance of receiving an item or, like something for your input, where loot boxes guarantee something. So, like we said, here in the United States, for loot boxes to be considered gambling, lawmakers would have to change the definition of gambling. And,
And that's where I stand in the whole thing is like, okay, because to me, the definition of gambling implies that there's a chance you get nothing. I mean, even with Overwatch, Battlefront 2, and another thing that's got me thinking, or what I'm thinking about is, how is this any different than collectible card games? And why aren't they being brought about on these charges as well?
Oh, that's a really good point.
That's a good point.
Exactly, because like when you buy a pack of cards, maybe a container that has like, hey, this card's guaranteed in there, you're not guaranteed to get a good card.
Exactly. And Magic has been around for what, like 30 years now or something like that?
Wow.
Why aren't they being brought into this as well? Why is it their way? Why are they okay, but this new concept of loot boxes and such in video games is now under fire?
Because for a while, loot boxes were done right in the fact that they were all cosmetic items. Like they didn't affect the game. Like if you put on, like Overwatch, you get a new skin for Genji or any of them. It doesn't affect how you play on the frame date of the game. It just affects how you look.
And it's also possible.
True.
It's also possible that like it's just because these games are so mainstream now. Like, no offense, Sean, but Magic has never. I don't think has the same popularity.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a niche game, but
exactly, we're mainstream. Like Overwatch there's Overwatch League. It's really exploding, and it's now that these things are coming to light where people are kind of thinking maybe loot boxes should be considered gambling.
Which I definitely don't think they should be. It goes back to that thing. You're guaranteed to get something. They may not be exactly what you want, but that's part of the fun.
That's true.
Otherwise, it's just buying something, which is most games have that option. You can just specifically go and buy that.
Yeah, Overwatch also has that. Overwatch is like if you have enough in-game gold, you can just buy the skin that you want.
Exactly.
I think that in most cases, I think.
Yeah, and I'm not the most familiar with how Battlefront 2 handles the loot boxes, like by leveling up or anything like that. But I know for Overwatch, you get a loot box every level.
Yeah.
So there is no requirement on paying anything to get the cosmetic items you want.
And you get them rather often too, because you're leveling up all the time.
And even games like, say, the Kingdom Hearts game I mentioned earlier, there's a whole system in there where you use jewels to get to buy loot boxes, kind of stuff, and you get jewels for completing 5 quests. There's you can buy jewels and stuff like that, but you always have enough jewels to where you can buy one of the boxes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that Overwatch is getting the flack it's getting compared to Hearthstone, where it's harder to get card packs in Hearthstone than loot boxes in Overwatch. And I really think it comes down to just because Overwatch calls them loot boxes.
I think it comes down to the fact that it's a card game versus not a card game.
That's a good point, actually. Because like the what were you gonna say, Sean?
I was like, I think that it ends up being a factor, despite the fact that it's completely superficial, because it's the exact same mechanic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all right, so here's something I can see as an argument for the gambling, like loot boxes as gambling, so let's take blackjack, right? There's really only there's 2 situations. You either get money back or you don't. Mm-hmm. And that can be kind of be applied to loot boxes where, let's say I'm playing Overwatch and I want that Reinhardt skin. We all know which one too. So exactly, that loot box, that Reinhardt skin. There's either a chance I'm going to get it in a loot box or I won't. And I think that's where it comes down to. I have multiple wants in Overwatch. I can want a Mei skin. I can want a Reinhardt skin. But in Blackjack, I just want the money. And maybe that's where they're coming from. I'm really not sure. Yeah, I think that's the only... Because I think the only way that you can really definitively say it's not gambling is if you get what you want. I think it's the fact that with these loot boxes, you don't always get necessarily what you want out of it, but you always get something. Yeah. I think that's the only real argument that would hold any water for this. Yeah, and I can see where it was coming from. Also, the European Union and Europe in general they've always been kind of weird about this kind of thing, Yeah. So, European people, 1-star reviews from Europeans, whatever. Whatever. Go back to your telly. So, I think the main, what it really comes down to is, most of these loot boxes you can just get with in-game stuff. It just takes time rather than money. Exactly. So just have some self-control, play the game, enjoy it, get rewarded for it.
Mm-hmm. and then I see the problem people have with Battlefront 2, because last show we discussed the math of this. It would take you on average about 40 hours to unlock one hero, and over 4,500 hours, which is like 1.6 years playing 8 hours a day every day to unlock them for free, or you can spend like $2,100 of like actual money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible that Battlefront 2 they just overdid it. They pushed players they tried to milk players a little too much. And, because like loot boxes are still relatively new and companies are still trying to find that sweet spot of how much are we going to give to players for free and how much do we need to keep behind the paywall so we can still support our game, but people aren't going to be pissed that it's pay to win. And that brings us back to Battlefront, where Battlefront is pay to win because in these loot boxes, you can get things that directly influence gameplay to make you better than someone who's playing for free. And I think that's also a big issue. There's just a lot of things that Battlefront messed up. We can talk about this for days.
Yeah, we could. I could also bring up the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer aspect too, because that came out in 2012, and they had loot boxes in their multiplayer.
Did they? I didn't know that. So were they balanced? How did that go?
Well, the main thing with their multiplayer was the fact that it was PvE. It was the players were on the same. Basically, it was kind of like a horde mode. But yeah, to upgrade your weapons and everything like that, you had to get these boxes. There were a couple different levels. They had a little bit different altered chances depending on whether you want to get new characters or weapons or anything like that. But it was all random.
I gotcha. So was it more fair?
I think it was more fair because again, it wasn't player versus player. It was player versus the AI.
And in that instance, if it's a little, if you get upgrades through loot boxes, that makes sense. That works. Yeah. But when it's PvP, I think then it's a little mean.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we can talk about it all day.
Yeah.
Y'all just want to talk about what games we're playing? Because last week we talked about EA to death, and we didn't talk about what games we're playing. We decided to save it for Sean. And let's just move on to that. We all good?
Yep.
Let's roll. If the sound plays, what's wrong?
You can do it.
Have you tried threatening it?
Threatening it? Work, or I'll terminate your process.
Have you tried?
What games are we playing?
Never mind.
The threat worked.
Always
Yeah,
threaten.
it's going to be great until technology realizes that we were so horribly dependent on them that they just stop working.
Exactly.
I had some crazy guy come into work yesterday talking to me about that.
Really? All right, save that for after the show. I kind of want to hear about that.
I mean, it's nothing too exciting. He's just a crazy guy who comes in pretty often.
Yeah.
Like enough to where we have a nickname for him. And he just was sitting there talking. He's like, yeah, man, one day the machines are just gonna overthrow us. We're just gonna have to kill them all. He's a compulsive liar.
Oh, is it this guy? I think he told
Sure,
us.
his name wasn't John Connor.
Positive.
Oh, okay, never mind.
If this is John Connor, then I'm real scared for the future.
I've actually met a girl whose name was Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I know a girl named Sarah Connor as well.
Yeah, no. Well, Boston Dynamics has their robot doing backflips, so the end is nigh.
I saw that, dude.
I saw that. That was so cool.
That was nuts. All right. Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Not you.
I have a dice roller on my phone if we want to just go that route.
All right, let's do it. Can you roll?
I just
roll 1 out of 4.
Solely for the fact that I have a lot to talk about for Assassin's Creed.
Are you? All right. Then how about I'll go first, and we'll see who goes after that. All right. So what have I played this week? I played a little bit of everything, to be honest. I played
literally every game.
Every game. I played
Yes.
half a second of every game just to start it up on Steam, and I closed it.
So
No.
basically, you've seen like the first half of the scrolling logo of every game.
Exactly. I wrote down every logo I could find. But I played, oh gosh, guys, I played so much Destiny. I think it was 2 weekends. I haven't had time to tell us on the show, but 2 weekends ago, I got up, I started playing Destiny at 10 a.m. I was like, all right, I'm going to play for an hour or two, get off, do some homework, because I had a project.
Famous last words.
I had a project to work on, and I was like, I really need to get this shit done. I played until 5 a.m. No, not 5 a.m. I played until 5 p.m. A little better.
I was about to say.
No, I played until 5 p.m., got off, switched to laundry, and then they were like, hey, let's raid. We raided from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. doing one raid. That was By the end of that raid, we hated each other. It was so. I don't know how much y'all know about the Destiny 2 raid.
So you played 14 non-consecutive hours of Destiny in one day.
Yes, I swore off for the week.
Technically
after
2
that.
days.
That sounds like a great day.
It was.
I remember those days when I didn't need sleep.
Yeah, it was fun. Callus. So, if you don't know, the Leviathan is the current Destiny raid. The mechanics are brutal. The mechanics are you have 6 people in a raid. If one person messes up, we all die. We're all dead.
Ooh.
And so everyone has to know what they're doing. It was so terrible. But we got it. It took us 7 hours to do the raid. Then I did it again the next week. It took me 2 to almost finish it before I had to go. But it was fun. Like once you get the mechanics down, it's not so bad. It's learning the mechanics is what is just so time consuming. Because there are bosses where I have to stand on this certain spot. But as I stand on that spot, I have a debuff that's ticking down until I die. So I had to stand there. Someone comes and get me. I had to go to the center to rebuff myself and go to someone else and do this whole switching thing. And there's 2 sides of that happening. There's also one where people have to shoot certain markers and you run around. It's the Chalice, I think, where there's this racetrack around the outside and people on the inside have to get through these barriers. But if people on the outside have to shoot certain markers to open it for them, it's a mess. I hate it so much. Callus.
That sounds really convoluted.
What were you gonna say, Sean?
And yet you played 14 non-consecutive hours.
Yeah, Callus is one thick boss. He's hilarious. That was fun. The boss fight starts out with you shooting the cup out of his hand. I decided to take my rocket launcher out. I just blew it away. It was pretty funny. But yeah, by the end of it, we were all pretty sick of each other, and it was a good time. But I've continued to play Destiny. I'm not quite max level. Right now, the max item level is 305, and it's kind of a pain. Right now, this is only the weekly stuff can get me gear for that, and I just haven't been doing it. Finals are coming up, so I don't have time for games.
So you're saying there's a grind wall?
There is a grind wall. I don't know, Sean, have you played Destiny at all?
I have not. I do not have anything. I don't have any consoles, and my PC is probably more affectionately referred to as the POS, which hopefully after tax returns and starting a new job, I'll be able to get an upgrade. But yeah, my PC is struggles to play StarCraft. So,
hey, my PC is my PC is a Mac laptop, so
yeah, that's probably still better than what I got. So
no.
Yeah,
I have the same computer. It could quite possibly, not an exaggeration, set fire if we play a game.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
I suddenly remembered a bunch of the LAN parties I used to have with friends. We had a laptop that could have either Age of Empires or the original StarCraft on it, but not both.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we refer to it as the crap top.
I once played Minecraft friends so long that his computer got so hot that it melted the stickers he had on it off.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Wow. Macs just don't handle heat very well.
No, this wasn't a Mac. This was like a Microsoft laptop.
Gosh.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. But I played some PUBG this week as well, just because I don't know. It's a fun game. I don't know what it is, but it's just fun,
Is it still in alpha?
It's still in early access.
Early access, yeah.
Beta, I guess, or early access is like beta alpha. I think 1.0 is on the test servers right now.
Okay.
And it looks slick. Like the vaulting looks really smooth because right now vaulting's a big deal because the only way to get over objects at the moment is to jump and hit shift at the same time so that when your body goes up, you bring your legs up with you and you can kind of wiggle your way onto objects. And so they've been really working on vaulting, which is this really smooth animation of jumping over items, climbing up. You can now jump through windows, which is nice because that creates a second entry point into buildings. If I think someone's camping the door, I can just hop through the window and blow his brains out with a shotgun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but it looks really good. You know, UI looks better. They've changed the map a little bit. This is all PTR. PTR. There's this huge forest and a pond that wasn't there before, and it's throwing me off a little bit. But that's fun. And like I've been playing so many shooters, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like I have trouble sticking to one game. So if I play too many shooters for too long, I'll switch over and play something that's not a shooter. So I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm actually, and that's been fun. So I don't know. I'm sure your computer could run Heroes of the Storm. I don't know.
Yeah, not at full graphics, but yeah, it runs it pretty well.
Yeah, because I think it's in the same engine as StarCraft.
Yeah.
So it should be equally demanding. But Heroes of the Storm, still a good game. 2.0, always good.
And did you see any of the BlizzCon announcements for Heroes of the Storm?
Yes.
Actually, most of those are actually on the PTR already.
I know. Alex Straza was released, I believe. I think she's in game.
Yep, Alex Straza's was released. She's already in the full game. They have the PTR with Hanzo. They have the PTR with the laning changes, the stealth changes, all that jazz.
Yes. I'm interested to see what happens when turrets don't have ammo.
It's going to be interesting because I think they also adjusted the damage they deal to minions. So, and I think minions are going to be doing a little bit more damage to them. So, but it's still like you have to make a more concerted effort to take out the turrets and everything.
Yeah, I think it's going to slow games down, really.
The initial stages probably, but overall, it's probably not going to extend the totality of the game very long.
Yeah,
but it's going to make the initial laning phases a little bit more important.
Yeah, especially like early levels, those turrets really dish out some damage. But I'm excited to see how those go. Can't wait for Hanzo to not be on the point in Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. Can't wait for that.
I have absolutely no interest in Hanzo at all.
So.
When they announced Alex Straza, it's like Alex Straza is by far my favorite lore character in all of Warcraft lore. I do not care if she's bad or anything. I want to play her and make her my primary support.
I'm interested. I haven't played her yet. I should try her out.
I thought you were about to say a different word.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been playing. Not a lot, finals are coming up, so I can't play too much games or finals are going to hand my ass to me, as they usually do. So, Sean, I'm sure you miss having that problem of finals looming.
In my current stage of life where I have a bunch of other adult responsibilities to do, I actually think finals would be a welcome change.
Oh no, that's not something to look forward to.
No, not at all.
Well, here's my advice, being a little bit older generation. Take your schooling seriously. Get a better job than I did.
All right. Yeah, school, whatevs. Who needs classes when I can go eat food or something? I don't know. But,
either that or just like completely drop everything, get really, really, just move to Korea and become a StarCraft champion, and then you'll be set.
All right, cool. All right, I like that plan.
Have you seen the keyboard cameras on those people? They are insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because they get these crazy high actions per minute.
Yeah, they were like 300-400 or so per minute or something like that.
It's disgusting.
I'm probably averaging around 30.
I understand that completely. It's
which is why I play the campaign and not versus anymore.
No, yeah, if I'm playing Heroes of the Storm, like I might be like 30 actions per minute, and then if I lose my character, which happens every now and then, it might suddenly go up because I'm clicking around trying to find me. But yeah, all right. Adam, what are you playing?
A few things. I'm back to going 0-2 at Smash Bros tournaments after beating the number 25 player in doubles.
Okay, sorry, Adam. If you keep trying, success is paid in failure. Just keep trying. Eventually, it'll go 1-2, and we'll be proud of you again.
Oh, have I lost your support?
No, you'll never lose my support.
We don't support losers here on the College Gamers.
Well, bye, guys.
Oh no!
Damn.
Remember, Sean, you're the coolest one here.
That's probably not saying much, but anyways.
Anyway, so
I think that was just an insult to us.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
okay, I don't think any of us do. It's half the fun of podcasting.
Let's see what else here. Ocarina of Time for 3DS. I got through my first playthrough of normal mode, and Taft, you were very right. Water Temple
Told
was
you.
a bitch.
Told you.
I was probably in that for like 7 hours, and I was using guides and help. And you want to know what? I accidentally made it harder for myself because I didn't get the Zora tunic. I could not breathe underwater.
Can you actually complete it without the Zora tunic?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh my god.
Apparently after hours of work.
That is both impressive and distressing at the same time.
Exactly. Like, I don't know if I should be I don't know if I should be proud of you or go to your apartment and slap the shit out of you.
It's like I didn't know you could get it till like after I did it, because then I looked through the guide to make sure I got everything, and then it's like, oh, by the way, unfreeze King Zora and he'll give you the Zora tunic, which lets you breathe in water. And I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
That's funny.
It's like, huh? This would.
That
make
was like
things a
half
lot
the problem
easier.
of that temple.
I mean, did you like never go into their little shop and see that it's worth more money than you can possibly hold?
Yeah,
That's
because
funny.
you can't like get the upgraded tunic until you like buy it from some place that I don't know how to get there.
No, you can't get it at all. It's one. I'm pretty sure it's like 1,000 gold or something like that, and you can, or 1,000 rubies, and you can only hold 999.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
That's
Wait,
funny.
can't you get an upgraded wallet?
yeah. No, that's the most upgraded. The
Oh.
most you can possibly hold in the game is 999 or something like that, and
Hacks.
the tunics are all 1 gold more. I'm pretty sure.
That's funny. That's really weird.
That's kind of dumb.
So you had to
It's-
go back and
it's-
unfreeze the guy?
Yeah, it's to make you like, this is in the game. Go find it.
That's weird. That's really funny though.
Also,
Well-
I'm hearing a really bad echo of myself on somebody's computer.
No, it's me. I'm trying to fix
Okay.
it. Y'all just keep talking. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking voice, apparently.
Yeah, otherwise I tried Master Quest for a bit, and then I stopped after Dodongo's Cavern, which is the second dungeon, after I realized, oh, they didn't just mirror the game and add in a few more enemies, they changed up the dungeons. So you better believe I'm not going through an altered water.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Granted,
And then
the
later
last-
I did a second playthrough of the normal mode, and I got through it so fast.
There you go.
Granted, the last time I've even like touched Ocarina of Time was when it was actually out on the Nintendo 64. So, yeah, it's been a while.
I played it all the time back then, and I don't even think I beat the game.
No, it was the very first Zelda game I ever played. It's
Yeah, I think it was the first Zelda game I played too.
I give it credit as the game that got me into gaming.
You and probably most people, because I still think on most lists it's the best game of all time.
Oh
Still
yeah,
widely considered that, and I think it deserves it.
The fun from
I have
Ocarina
to
of Time
credit-
is seeing people debate the timeline.
I would have to credit
yeah.
Wind Waker, to be honest.
Hmm.
I guess I'm different. I always have to be a special snowflake.
shame.
All right. Did I fix the echo or?
It's still there a little.
All right. I'm gonna pause the show and I'm gonna pop out. Back to the show here. So anything else, Adam? How's Breath of the Wild? You still playing that at all, or are you finally done?
I got back in it when the new stuff came. Like, the update that got the Xenoblade 2 armor, I finally found those and was a little disappointed when I realized you couldn't upgrade them, but I knew that was probably a thing. Here's the fun part. The day that the Champion Amiibos came out, like every single one of my classes canceled around that time, so I waited outside GameStop for an hour just to get them because I
Nice.
couldn't pre-order them. That's like the only thing you can get stuff like that from GameStop if you don't pre-order it. You have to like wait until opening day and hope.
Yeah,
let's
you're
see
talking to
here.
someone who stayed outside of a GameStop for about an hour and a half to get for the midnight opening for Skyrim.
Nice.
I respect that. That reminds me, I need to get Skyrim for Switch now that that's out.
I need to get a computer that'll actually run Skyrim now.
I see. Switch.
Skyrim.
But yeah, so I got that. I got the Divine Beast helms, Epona, Twilight Princess armor set, and Sheik's mask. And I am still hunting for giant ancient cores for the Divine Beast helms because they like never drop, and you need 8 of those to upgrade all of them. It's really dumb.
Nice. Skyrim was a good game. But Adam, have you picked it up yet? Sorry, I got distracted. I was making sure my audio problem was gone, and I think my brain farted out my ear.
Well, you still came up with an accurate statement. Skyrim is a great game.
Yeah, I try. But Adam, have you picked it up on Switch yet? Skyrim?
Not just yet.
You're robot-y. Adam, you're going
yeah.
super robot.
You sound like you're farting.
There we go.
Hello.
A podcast.
Did I fix
we're
it?
probably speaking out of our asses anyway, so.
A podcast wouldn't be complete without an audio problem here or there. But,
Did I fix it?
Yeah, you're fine. But
Okay.
yeah,
just
my
remember, just be
friends.
glad that you actually started the recording. I've messed that up a couple times.
No, my friend picked up Skyrim right before a drive out to Florida, and I was insanely envious because last time I drove to Florida, it was boring as all get out. But I've heard good things about it. Like everyone's happy. We talked about that Skyrim on the Switch is not the enhanced edition that recently came out. It's like a weird combination of the 2011 and the newer version, where like I think it's like some of the textures are better, but I think some of the lighting effects that the enhanced edition comes with is not there. So I'd be interested.
That makes sense because textures are always less graphic intensive than like lighting and shadows and stuff. So
exactly, and those are always the first things to tone down if you want better frame rate and stuff. So
yeah.
And the Switch, I don't know how powerful the Switch is, but I feel like it has some of the engines that it uses are kind of optimized for it. But yeah, Adam, pick that up. Get Skyrim.
I'm trying to pick up that, Rocket League, Minecraft, and a couple other things.
Get all the games.
It's okay. You can live off of peanut butter and bread.
It was really
Dude,
funny.
what you talking about? Top ramen.
I'm just saying. Beer has all the nutrients you need.
No,
It's even used as a
true.
disinfectant.
that's true.
You can survive off of nothing but honey.
That's funny. No, but the reason why I didn't get the Switch out of the gate was like I was concerned about how like what games I would get on it, because like when it first came out, it was really just a Zelda box, and that was really it.
Yeah.
But now it's like it seems that Adam's struggling to get all the games coming out for it.
Yeah.
So, and not to mention, it doesn't have too many exclusives. So, like any games, like the only games I think that are really pulling me towards the Switch right now are Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. All the other games I think I can get on PC.
No, I leave. Actually, 2 weeks from today, I leave for Disney, and a friend of mine has a Switch who's coming with us.
Oh yeah.
I told him he better bring it in the Odyssey, or else he's riding in my car. I'm gonna drop him off in like Alabama.
No. But that's cool beans. Well,
I wonder if Mike's gonna end up like me and put 400 hours into. Oh, by the way, Sean, I've put 400 hours into Breath of the Wild, if not more.
That's not surprising. I've in Pokemon Red. Yep, dating myself a little bit. Pokemon Red on the Brick Boy. I logged 200 hours. Corrupted my game. Had to restart and got about 250 after that.
Wow.
I respect.
That's dedication, man.
Yeah. Granted, this was when I was in middle school, so a little bit different time frame.
Gosh, how long has it been since I picked up Pokemon Moon? It's been a while.
I don't remember you talking about it at all. But all right, Sean, what are you playing these days?
Well, as I have in the show notes, does changing jobs count as a game?
Yes. Yeah, I'll say it does because
yeah.
That's hard.
Like the last week or so, I've been doing that.
That's the hardest game of them all.
Life. Being able to support myself and my family. Yeah, I'm also, as I've alluded, I'm a little bit older demographic. I'm actually a father of 2 little girls and been married for 4 years. So not necessarily college gamer, but gamer nonetheless.
Hey, it's all right.
But yeah, a lot of game of life, really. But no, in actual games lately, I actually got really nostalgic for the StarCraft 2 campaign. So I, about probably a week and a half ago, started just playing through from the beginning, and I'm to the epilogue of Legacy of the Void right now. I just got like 3 more missions, and I'm done with that.
I finally just got that done like a few months ago.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now that you've freshly played all of them, what's your favorite?
Oh.
Or
I'd
almost
probably still have to
finished?
say Wings of Liberty, the Terran campaign.
Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Me?
Campaign or mechanics?
Both. Whenever I do play StarCraft, I always play Terran because I am a ridiculous turtle and they have some of the best defenses, and I also lose a lot. So take this with a grain of salt. But yeah, I always like the Terran units and everything. How they actually have some units that can, like. They're just the Marines in general are just like they can attack both land and air. They're very versatile. You can use them for everything. So I like that aspect of the Terrans.
And one Baneling and they're done.
Well, I didn't say, like I said, I didn't think it was a good idea, but it's an option at least.
Yeah, and like I really enjoy the mechanics of like they can fly around. So if you really need to retreat,
Yeah.
that's really handy. Also, their houses, the bunkers or something, they can go
Yeah, the
underground.
supply depots, yeah.
So I've always liked the mechanic of you can create a gate at the entrance and like raise and lower it.
And the reason
See, I've always liked
they
the
did
Protoss.
that, yeah, the reason they did that, the supply depot walls, is because in the original StarCraft, that was a legitimate tactic. People would just put cheap supply depots in front of their main entrance to prevent the enemies from getting in there too quick. And now they just made it a legitimate tactic by making it an actual gate.
That's interesting. So wait, was it a bug in the first game, or like how did?
In the original game you couldn't lower them or heighten them or anything. They just did that to prevent people enemies from attacking them quickly.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh man, this like random original StarCraft stories I've heard are just ridiculous. Like I've heard a story that a player protected his Marines by actually hovering his command center above them so that the opponent couldn't target them.
What? No way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so he was hovering his command center, had a bunch of Marines underneath it, and the person couldn't target them because they would just keep on clicking the command center.
That's interesting. I guess that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work in StarCraft 2.
No.
I guess because like attack A or something.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But it's like, some of the stories I've heard are just ridiculous. But yeah, that's for the last week or so. That's what I've been going through. But I've also played Heroes of the Storm, a little bit of Overwatch, and a bunch of other random games that I've done for part-time gamers. So I got a little bit of everything.
Nice. Yeah, my only experience with StarCraft 1 was when I went to South Korea and I went to a PC Bang, which is, it's just like the third floor of a building. You walk in, you rent a computer for a little bit. They have all these games on them. Really nice computers too. And I played through StarCraft. No, I think I did like a quick match in StarCraft 1 against an AI. And I'd never played. All the instructions, all the descriptions of units were in Korean. So I kind of just clicked around until I found what to do. So
nice.
that was also when I first played Warcraft 3, which I later bought and played in English. And by the way, when you play a game in your native language, it's a lot more enjoyable. And you learn a few things. So yeah. No, that's one of the things I like about Blizzard games is that hardware restrictions are they're more lax. Like I feel like I can really play them on any computer I own.
Yeah, with StarCraft 2, I still have a problem with like the cinematics and stuff, but the actual in-game stuff it runs great.
Oh yeah, the cinematics are really nice. But yeah, all right, Taft. I know you've been itching. You're like probably sweating over there right now, itching your face, trying to like hold back the tension. But how's Assassin's Creed?
Amazing. I have put way too many hours into that game. I'm max level, have all legendary gear, have beat the story, obviously. Did the little side mission to get all the armors. Yeah, I'm just having a really good time with it. It's a lot of fun.
Have you
So many side missions.
finished it?
Like, yeah, like I beat the story.
Like, oh, you talked about like side missions for armor and stuff. So I was wondering, like, did he like do everything in the game?
I all the missions, and then I did all the, like, there's all the side missions to get like all the armors, because there's side missions that reward you. Like, there's especially one mission that rewards you like the ultimate armor, like you know how they all have like the ancestors armor, kind of stuff. This one's actually not ancestor because it can't be, but it's a armor from the first civilization. So you have to complete all of the stone circles for that one, and then find the tomb that it's hidden in. That's really fun. There are tons of tombs. The tombs are honestly some of the coolest parts of it, because there have been multiple times I've just been walking through the desert, and then I see like a crack in the mountain, and I'm like, that looks interesting. I'm gonna go check that out, and then I fall 20,000 feet to a pool of water in the middle of an ancient civilization.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So how big's the map?
Huge, dude. Like I was like, starting this game off, I was like, I'm not gonna fast travel. I will not do it. After a while, I was like, if I want to get anything done, I have to fast travel.
So it's that large. How's it? Compared to past games, like the past games have been kind of set in more urban areas. Like I think Rogue.
This is not at all, and I think that's where it really shines, because it relies more on the natural like rises and stuff like that, like cliffs and other things like that. You can finally climb a cliff. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to find a very specific spot has foothold for you. You can just walk up to the side of a cliff and grab onto it and start climbing.
It took a page out of Zelda's book.
That's actually really cool, that game. So it's basically free climbing. You no longer need buildings or something.
Exactly. Like, yeah, like obviously if the place doesn't look like you can climb it, you can't climb it. And you can't climb trees, which still kind of sucks. But it's really, like, I mean, obviously you can climb trees that like you're meant to be able to climb in, but like you can't just walk up to like a single tree that has no branches and climb up it.
No, that makes sense,
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. And the stealth is really hard in the game.
Is it? Because it looked like fun, but it looked like you used what's around you more than past games. So like you would use bushes and walls.
It's good. It's just hard because like they'll start to notice bodies, and if they notice a body, they're on high alert. One thing that's nice though, it kind of takes a page out of what's that one? Metal Gear Solid's book. When you get spotted, there's a small time frame where you can react.
Is it the same mechanic where when you're spotted, time slows and you can take them out before they alarm anyone, or is it real time?
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat all that. You cut out horribly on my end.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Cool. So is it where, like in Metal Gear Solid, right before you got discovered, time would slow? And
exactly.
Is it the exact same mechanic?
It's almost the exact same. It doesn't slow quite as much, and it's not nearly as long.
Oh, okay. That's cool though.
It's like, okay, this guy spotted you, and it also doesn't like, how in Metal Gear Solid it would like, if you're looking to your left, but the guy that you saw is on your right, it'll turn you that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that. It's just like, oh, you've been spotted. Now who found you?
Oh, that sounds mean, but that sounds like so much more fun. So is stealth more of a strategy in this? Like,
yes.
So is it
definitely
okay? All right, I was just curious because like if they nerf stealth, like maybe they want this to be more of a, because like the combat looked more intricate than past games. I don't know. I haven't played Assassin's Creed. I mentioned this in the past.
Yeah, no, combat is very different, but it's good. And they made the game a lot more of a challenge in general. Past Assassin's Creed games and stuff like that have been very easy.
Yeah.
On their missions. This one was actually pretty hard to beat at certain times. Like there were missions like going to kill the final guy. I was sitting there. I was like, he's in this giant citadel, and they're all really high level, and I'm just sitting there. Okay, how am I gonna get to him?
Nice.
Without alerting this entire place that I'm here, and then them lighting their beacon to let everybody around them know I'm here.
That sounds like fun.
It was really difficult, and it was really fun because at one point, like I found a path, like the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
And then like shot some guy over here, got caught, but booked it away. That way they were all looking in that area, and so no guard over there. Just booked it and jumped through a window to get inside the building that he was in. Nice.
Sounds like fun, man. I don't know. I'm considering getting it. Like it's on sale right now, so I'm like, ooh. But it's like, do I have the do I really want to invest in Assassin's Creed right before finals? Do I really want screw taps like
Cyber Monday tomorrow?
I know, right? Well, I think the sales are starting already, especially Steam. So
apparently, speaking of sales, and speaking of Kingdom Hearts earlier, apparently right now Target is selling the Kingdom Hearts games for $20.
Oh, really?
According to a Reddit post.
I would love to play with some Kingdom Hearts.
Oh no!
If I had a PlayStation.
Okay, wait. They're 15 at Target and 20 at Best Buy apparently.
Nice, cool.
So that's where I'm going directly after we get off the podcast.
Yeah, that's also why we didn't have a lot of news this week, is because everyone no one's talking about anything but Black Friday deals. That's been all the news for the past week, and then no one cared about anything but Cyber Monday deals now. So everyone's like, no one's like, let's talk about the release date for what's that Witcher game? Cyber Witcher, whatever.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, the Cyberpunk Witcher. They're not going to release that because everyone's like, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to basically feed my wallet into my disk drive until it craps out and starts smoking. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we're playing. That was fun. Anyone want to mention anything else before we close the show down?
Yeah, Animal Crossing is downloaded on my phone now.
Can't wait. Yeah, I actually started building my character earlier before I had to put it down because I was getting too into it. Did you see?
I have some stuff building right now, so I have to wait.
Did you see someone made Guy Fieri?
Really?
Yeah, I'll post in the Discord after the show. But someone made his hair and gave him a flaming shirt, and his whole camper is painted with flames. It looked hilarious. Nice. Yeah. Nice. So, all right. Well, that's a show. Thank you so much, Sean, for joining us. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Well, you can find, we do have a Patreon for the part-time gamers. It's patreon.com/parttimegamers, coincidentally enough. You can find all of my work, including the show, a little bit of my video work and stuff on caffeineinducedproductions.com. Sorry for having such a long name, but that's all I could get. And you can find me on, we have a YouTube channel for part-time gamers as well. And just look up Part-Time Gamers on iTunes or wherever you get your other podcasts or whatnot, and you should be able to find us.
Awesome. Yeah, I understand the naming thing. It's every cool name or every short name has been taken.
Yeah.
So it's all right, got to add an extra word so that...
But at least I didn't have to add any random numbers or anything to the end of it. So...
Caffeine-induced productions _45 or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, yeah, go check them out. If you want to check us out in not a weird way, you can find me on Twitter at BlueCows with a Z.
Or a weird way, whatever floats your boat.
Exactly. Adam, where can people find you on Twitter?
At SmoothDog5, even though I almost never use Twitter.
Taft?
TaftFaust8.
Awesome. Sean, you want
to use Twitter?
Sean, you want to give out your Twitter? I don't know if you mentioned it.
Sure. You can find me at Cyranex.
Awesome.
SEARANEX.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
Yep. Cyranex.
All right, because I've said it to myself 17 different ways, and none of them have sounded like that.
And actually, if you let me ramble on for another second, it's actually a funny story how I came up with that name.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of Warcraft 3, in the first mission of the human campaign, there's a side mission to kill a black dragon named Cyrianox. When I was trying to make my very first D&D character, he was a half red dragon, and I had just played Warcraft 3, just went through that mission, and I was like, I want to come up with a dragon sounding name. What about Cyrianox? That sounds cool. And it's stuck since then.
That's pretty cool. Nice. All right, well, where can you find us? I gotta bring the show notes up because I never remember. Yeah, you can find us on Facebook at the College Gamers Podcast Facebook page. You can find our Discord link as the pinned posts on the Facebook page. If you want to join us in Discord, where we talk about EA and we have a roasting competition. I don't know. We should have one of those. And then if you enjoy this show at all, if you enjoy the random noise that Adam is making, then you should go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review or wherever you get your podcast from so that other people can find this here show. And also, while you're there, go rate the Part-Time Gamers because they're also cool. And that's it for this show. Thank y'all so much for listening, and we'll catch y'all next time. Later.
Rock on.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.
End. Bumper isn't working.
This has been a Blue Cow Radio production. Find more at bluecowradio.com.